Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel, and I am your host for the Wellness Journey podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel, and I am the podcaster of Fit After 50. Last week, I talked about how stress changes our diet. Sometimes we may eat less than we should, and sometimes more. But did you know that if we try to control our diet too much, it can stress us out? If someone tells me not to eat rice for the entire week, I'd freak out. Joking aside, it is important to know how to maintain a healthy diet. So today I will talk about some myths about dieting and bust them out. What is the first thing you can think of when I say the word dieting? To me, it is fasting, specifically intermittent fasting. There are several variations to intermittent fasting. 16 on 8 diet is when you eat within 8 hours during the day and fast for 16 hours. For example, you may only eat between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Alternate day fasting is when you fast every other day. The list goes on. So the big question is, are they effective? And the answer to that is more complicated than we think. Studies have shown that people who take up fasting diets will lose weight and may even have lower risk of cardiovascular disease or diabetes. But these studies often last for several months or weeks, which means no one really knows what will happen if people continue to fast for a year or longer. If a person stops fasting and returns to their normal diet, they will regain the weight they have lost. So should you really fast? Consulting a dietitian or a health professional will be best to help you make your decision. But keep in mind that this diet is not for everyone. People who are underweight or pregnant, for example, should avoid fasting. Other than fasting diets, some people may choose to skip breakfast. But should we really do so? To that, I'll say, research has found that people who skip breakfast are more likely to be overweight or obese, and there are two reasons for this. One, we use up lots of energy while sleeping, mostly because our brain is still functioning to keep us breathing or our heart beating. So if we don't have breakfast when we wake up, we will feel hungry later in the day, and we're more likely to overeat. Second, having breakfast can help us regulate our hormones called insulin, which helps our body to intake glucose after a meal. Having breakfast can help reduce the amount of insulin you release later in the day, so you won't absorb as much energy as you will without breakfast. If we cannot skip breakfast, can we get rid of a certain type of food? Like carbohydrates. They are too easily absorbed. Let's just not eat them completely. Compared to fat and protein, our body does absorb carbs more readily, but it doesn't mean that we should eliminate them from our diet completely, precisely because they are an easy source of energy for us. In fact, among the 3 macronutrients, which are carbs, protein, and fat, 40% to 65% should be carbohydrates. Even though we may tend to overeat carbs, especially from sugary foods and drinks, moderation is key, which means we can also consume more energy than we should from eating too much protein or fat. So, carbs is not our enemy, it is our friend. We need to learn to find a healthy relationship and distance with them. Here's my 2 cents to dieting. Pick a diet that suits you and always eat the right amount of food. According to the Canada's Food Guide, half of our plate should be vegetables and/or fruits. A quarter should be carbs, preferably whole grain products, and the last quarter proteins, preferably plant-based. Also, remember to have breakfast every morning, no matter how rushed you are. Even a granola bar is better than nothing. Most importantly, it's okay to eat non-healthy foods once in a while, and don't feel guilty doing so, because we all need to treat ourselves one way or the other. That's all for today. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for our next episode. Bye-bye! Hello again. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you like it, don't forget to hit that like button and share with your friends and family.
All our previous episodes are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube so that you can always go back and check them out. Once again, thank you for being here with me today, and I'll see you next week. Bye!